got the recipe, and I kept receipts. The smell it covers me. Mods only weed. I just chopped the tree. I didn't stop to breathe. I couldn't stop my greed. It hit me like I'm Creed. No, the game is like I cheat.
So yeah, moving on to more Olympic shit. North Korea defector, that's what they said, defector, says Team USA athlete Gwen Berry would have been executed over unthinkable flag protest during the playing of the anthem at an Olympic qualifier in Oregon. First place finisher Deanna Price and second place finisher Brooke Anderson faced the flag with their hands over their heart. Berry, however, shifted to face the crowd and covered her head with a t-shirt that read "Activist Athlete." I never said I hated the country, she told the Black Channel News on a Tuesday. I never said that I didn't want to go to Olympic Games. That's why I competed, and that's why I got third and made the team. Yeah, so she said some more shit like, if you know your history, you know the full song of the national anthem, which, you know, we actually know that shit was taken out of the actual national anthem because it was racist shit. Right. And she said that, yeah, blood being slain all over the floor and all that disrespectful shit does not speak for Black Americans. So she wasn't down with that shit. She was just, you know, I'm gonna be on the team, but you know what? We all know the truth. Like, let's not act like we can't ignore it. Yeah, let's not act like we don't know what the fuck is going on here and why I would do some shit like that. And y'all having an uproar and shit. But yeah, that happened. You got anything? Like, you sent me that shit, matter of fact.
Yeah, I did send you that shit. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird because it was some Republican who brought it up, and he wanted her off the team. I don't know his name. His name's not Brett. He's a dickhead. He wanted her off the team. But then every time they brought up they just keep bringing up the whole riot. What it was, you know, running up in there. They keep bringing that up, and they keep deflecting from that and trying to give you some other shit that really is the truth. They keep saying, like, okay, for instance, the whole I'm not watching the NFL if they keep kneeling. Right.
Yeah.
Really? That's what y'all pissed off about? They kneeling because of a flag. They kneeling, okay. But what about the big ass flags that got Trump printed on the American flag?
Right.
Is that not disrespectful? That sounds hella disrespectful to me.
Right.
Yeah. It's a whole flag hold, and they get to disrespect it however they want to, but us taking a stance against actual injustice in the country is wrong.
Yeah.
No matter how we do it, peacefully, riots, no matter how we do it, it's just like it's wrong. We shouldn't do it. But they don't implement any change.
They won't. And I feel like the reason why they won't implement any change is because the people on our side don't have enough political intelligence.
Facts.
We can march.
Yeah, I don't do shit.
And we can chant all the slogans in the world.
Yeah.
But if we want these elected officials to take action, we actually have to present them with credible information on what the injustice was, why it was injustice, and how we can alternate the injustice.
But I feel like we already have that. We have that in statistics. It's like shown the injustice. Like, for example, Black and brown children get harsher punishment in schools.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they get harsher punishment in the courthouse. It's shown. It's an imbalance in what's going on.
Right. But again, when I say that we need political intelligence, we can have statistics.
Yeah.
The statistics won't matter if we don't have enough political intelligence to go and vote these people out, to vote better people in, to change these policies.
Do you think voting matters?
Not at the presidential level, no.
Okay, and what
local level?
On the local level, you think voting really matters?
Okay, so we all know, like, you got the judicial, legislative, and executive branches, right?
Yeah.
So many people focus on the executive branch, which is the president. Fuck that. Go to the legislative. Vote for the Congress members. And like he said, local, your governors and people like that, because these are the motherfuckers who make it difficult for the president. You know what I'm saying? Barack Obama, everybody got their own piece about what he did for black people, what he didn't do for black people. But I look at it like this. everything that he possibly wanted to do for black people, he could have been sending all type of propositions.
Yeah.
If everybody in the house is a Republican, that shit ain't gonna matter. I always use the analogy of going to public school. If I'm a student at Eastside, but everybody hyping me up to be the next big thing for Gainesville, and Moody gonna do this and Moody gonna do that, but my counterparts go to private school, everything that I'm speaking on is to help public school. They gonna look at me like, bro, that don't affect us. We ain't helping you with shit because we go to private school. So what the fuck we gonna help you make public school better, which is gonna hurt private school? So when it's time for me to end my run, guess what? All my public school homies looking like, damn, we hyped that nigga Moody up. That nigga Moody ain't do shit. Bro, no, I really was trying, bro. Like, you don't see my motherfucking edge thinning, my hair gray now. I was really at these round tables fighting for us, but y'all niggas don't got enough political intelligence to go and vote these motherfuckers out. So it's one against 1,000.
Y'all just want to march and shout.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you said, the statistics are there. The statistics are real. Yeah. But if all we can do is look at the statistics and present the statistics, we presenting them with shit they already know, but they don't care because they the one who implemented that bullshit in the first place. Facts. So we have to have the knowledge to go in there and look at these ballots and say, I don't fuck with that, I fuck with this. Okay, that can work for another 5 years. But you got these people who sit at these desks as elected officials and they sitting there for decades. We so focused on the president, bro, he gonna get replaced every 4 years. But we got this judge or we got this congressman or congresswoman, they been sitting on that motherfucking ballot since 1965. And they racist. Who that's gonna affect? It affected us. It's gonna affect our children. It's gonna affect our children's children until we have enough political knowledge and intelligence to vote their ass out. But we getting to a point now where people have grown tired of the government. We don't trust it no more. So now we really ain't voting. So guess what that means? They still gonna sit there. So unless we gonna homeschool our kids, they gonna endure the same bullshit for centuries. Unless we get on some Nat Turner shit and people ready to die, but that ain't happening. So
that part's never happened.
Yeah.
When you say we gotta vote these people out, I definitely agree. But I definitely feel like there is, I don't know if I want to call it misinformation, but there is something that have people leaning towards the wrong thing. Right. But it's the wrong thing for, I guess, you know what? It's the right thing for them. Yeah. But it's like, fuck everybody else. This right here works for me.
Yeah. I think
a situation where like everything, where like what letting people do what, again, like it's another situation which is letting people do what they want to do. Like, okay, that's cool for y'all, but as the whole society, it's bad type thing.
Right. Because I feel like you said, where it's like, okay, this worked for me, but this don't work for everybody else. I think that's the most common issue that we have, especially in black culture, where everybody wants to be an individualist. Teamwork is almost taboo now. You know, when I tell people how I started DBDL with Larry them, or even how we have like Liberated Tribe and Guerrilla Mafia, every single time we've ever worked together in Gainesville, I don't think it's ever truly been a situation where like, oh bro, you gotta like pay me for that. It's like, no bro, I grew up with y'all. We came into this entertainment thing together. So whenever you call me, if I got the time, I'm gonna be there. But that's teamwork. And we all come from a place of teamwork and not having the ego. Now think of the masses. Is ego filled? Social media telling you that you got to be better than the next person, and then when we grow up, we growing up with traditionalized parents who telling us that we got to be twice as good as the white man. So if it's all 6 of us and it's 10 spots and it's 9 white boys, I gotta tear all y'all down just so that way I can feel like I'm good enough to go stand next to him, instead of telling me, oh well, y'all 6, y'all already great on y'all own, so if y'all unite, y'all better than them 10 white boys. So it's literally ingrained in us through generations. So not only do we have lack of self-knowledge, but we got lack of political knowledge. So our lack of self-knowledge ain't even gonna help us find political knowledge, because in order to know what we voting for, we got to know who we are. And then knowing who we are gonna help us unite.
That's some deep shit, bro. Like, no, bro. Like, for real, bro. Because I be on that same shit, bro. Where it's like, okay, we can talk about problems and situations, blah, 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 but we don't even know who the fuck we are.
Bro.
Like, how the fuck are we going to solve anything?
Yeah.
Like, thinking we solve some shit, but that's why we fall right into another problem, because we don't know who we are.
Right.
So we going to keep, it's like a fucking cycle, bro. But my fault. Keep going on. That shit.
But
deep,
I think, like, the reason why people don't know who they are is because people are afraid of collision. But we have to understand that there is no creation without collision. Think of how all of us got here. Before they started doing artificial insemination and shit, the masculine got to collide with the feminine in order to create a person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In order for you to have a debate, somebody got to have their opinion and you got to have your opinion.
Yeah.
In order to have the perfect divine balance, you got to have yin and yang. In order to create the earth, you got to have heaven and hell. So everything is collision at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But the reason why we can't unite is because people fear collision. May it be from being hurt, may it be from being rejected. So it's like you never gonna get where you want to go if you're afraid to go and find contact. You know, so we got a bunch of people who talk the talk, but when it's time to take action, that action gonna create conflict. That conflict is what motherfuckers are truly afraid of. So in order to have the permanent excuse to prevent conflict, I'm just gonna not try to research that shit. I'm just gonna leave it alone. And that's where the lack of self-knowledge and ultimately political knowledge stems from.
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, deep, understandable, and agreeable.
Yeah.
When I feel like that shit, but I still feel like that shit's never gonna be it's never gonna be a. You know what? The change is never gonna be a thing because like no one has ever seen it yet.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Like, yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
People should definitely get on top of who they're voting in these positions.
Right.
But I think they're going based off of whatever they ran with, like whatever they told you they were gonna do when they got there. And then it's like you said, like I said, that shit may work for me, but that fuck what y'all talking about. That shit work for me. So some people are looking at it as like, all right, well, I voted. Mm-hmm. I voted for the person I wanted.
Right. Yeah.
Multiple times. And still these other people got into these positions with their claims to what they were going to help you with and help you do and help the community or whatever happened. Right. And that shit that may have helped some people, but that shit didn't help me.
Right. Yeah. Nah, it's always going to, help one person more than the other person.
Yeah,
that's just life. That's the inevitable.
Yeah, it's trade-offs. That's how we live. We live in a world of trade-offs. Right? It's not really.
That's all capitalism is.
Yeah, it's not really like
everybody
shit gets better. Yeah, not everybody eats. No, everybody
can't eat.
Like how?
Right. There's always been a food chain.
Everybody can't eat.
You know, there's distributor and the consumer. Like that's how the world works.
I don't like to live in a world where everybody can't eat.
Yeah, it's always been a food chain.
You don't want to.
No, I don't want to live in a world where everybody can't eat.
Ideally, it sounds great. Yeah, everybody's rich. We all got.
Not rich. I mean, not rich. I mean, you know, fucking. There are more millionaires popping up.
Yeah, and there's more people going broke. I mean, it's trade-offs, bro. Like you're not gonna. But I feel like the way that society works, bro, like that has to happen, bro. Like whether we like it or not, that's just the world we're in, bro. Like it has to be, unfortunately.
Thinking that it's gonna be a kumbaya is thinking of a utopia.
That's
and
crazy.
Utopias don't exist.
Delusional.
Well, not necessarily. I'm not saying everybody got to be making 500,000, but then I feel like.
I mean,
the price of living keeps.
Then you want communism.
I feel like the price of living keeps going up,
same,
and your wage goes up a tad bit.
Yeah, it's inflation.
Just a tad bit, not enough, but just a tad bit.
Yeah.
Because right now, shit is crazy expensive everywhere with everything.
I think the change that you're talking about, if it is possible in this country, that's capitalistic. We have to start with our children because it's too late for us.
Damn. That's like the realest shit, bro.
Yeah, it's too late, and the reason why it's too late for us is because not too many of us are students alive. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like we're finding out the information now, where it's like we're getting it, where it's like if enough of us get it now, and we have it passing down to our kids, okay, them passing it down to them, like a generation after them might
Catch it.
You might catch it and all right, change is coming on. But as far as, and we might be able to see it if we live long enough. So who knows, bro? But my fault. Moving on to more news, and I think it's like the last thing I'm gonna cover.
All right.
Yeah, college athletes are getting paid now. Great. This is great. I don't know about all that, but the NCAA has approved a temporary policy to allow college athletes in all 3 divisions, and all 3, that's great, to get paid for the use of their name, image, and likeness. The organization NIL announced on a Wednesday the new policy will go into effect on a Thursday. The same day the NIL laws are set to go into effect in 7 states. Okay. And last until federal legislation is adopted or the NCAA develops permanent rules of its own, the interim policy will allow college athletes and recruits to make money off of activities like autograph sign-ins, endorsements, and personal appearances, as long as they are consistent with any applicable state law where the athlete's school is located. That's interesting. Athletes will be able to use professional service providers for such activities, and universities will be responsible for determining whether these activities are consistent with state law. So yeah, these niggas are getting paid now. And Master P's son signed like some deal. I ain't really like read the deal. $2 million for like 4 years or some shit like that. So, I mean, that's what's up, though. I mean, all right. So, boom. This is interesting because about a year ago, I started hearing like this new generation, this new wave. They like, man, fuck that. We going to HBCUs. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Like they was like, no, we signing these. You feel me? This where we going, bro.
Right.
And that was gonna take a lot of money away from D1 colleges and of that nature. If you got like a Mikey Williams or even LeBron's son decide to go, you feel me? Like shit like that goes down, bro. And it's just funny how this pops up now. And if they're gonna do this, then they have to give a lot of people money because they made a lot of money over a lot of years with a lot of Hall of Fame players and type shit like that, bro. So, but it was just interesting to me how they was like, all right, we gonna start paying niggas now because we don't want them to go to HBCUs because now this is gonna like prevent that from like or compete with that at least compete with it.
Yeah, I think it's the American way, on how to hook a culture.
Yeah,
you feel me? Black culture prides itself on who can make the most money and who has the most money. When we also say don't pocket watch. It's the primary oxymoron. I got more money than you, nigga. How do you know? Why are you pocket watching me? Ain't that the rule?
Yeah,
never watch another nigga pockets. But you continuously emphasize how much more you make than me. How the fuck do you know this unless you're pocket watching? So I feel like it was purposeful. I feel like the NCAA knew what was coming, had Mikey Williams, Bronny, and any other influential young black athlete decide to go to a HBCU. So they said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We know the HBCUs can't compete with salaries against the bigger schools. So let's come up with all these different loopholes to still hook them, but pay them.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but I feel like the HBCUs have been around for a long time. I feel like they're going to remain. I feel like they still going to be able to survive despite having big name athletes or not. Because HBCUs have created big names on their own. They might not have came as a big name.
And I actually think this kind of like plays into their favor kind of where it's like now I can like, all right, I'll take $2 million to go play at HBCU versus all right, Duke can give me $6 million or $4 million. All right, but
I mean,
shit, $2 million I can go play still with.
The top high schools probably in reality only gonna do 1 year.
Facts.
Right.
And they out of there.
And see that's the interesting part too. All right, so because they didn't cover that whether like
what's the clause?
You can sign a deal of 4-year deal for $2 million, but bitch, I scored 30 a game this year, and pros hollering about, hey, you finna make $50 million.
I think
can
that's
I leave?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. I think that's gonna be.
Money back?
I think that's gonna be one of the loopholes. And then on top of that too, with Hersey receiving the $2 million deal or whatever, that's basketball. It's significantly less players on the basketball team than the football team.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how that's gonna work. Because on the football team you got at least 50 to 80 players.
A whole lot in college.
So college, you got over 100.
Yeah, for really, yeah. So it's like at that point I'm just like, how you gonna handle that? But honestly I feel like they were already discussing it last year and the year before.
Yeah.
But seeing what happened last year with the pro-blackness and what the black students saying they were going to do, oh, no, we got to push this ahead. It's the same thing with the Stop Asian Hate shit.
Yeah.
Like, how that happened so fast?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Fast
as long as you observing, you see that these motherfuckers can really make anything happen when they want it to happen.
Oh, yeah.
As soon
Yeah,
as
they can
COVID
try
happened
this shit.
out of nowhere, everybody can work from home now, nigga. We could have been working from home. So yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see, but I'm all for young black athletes getting paid.
Definitely. Let's make that clear. Definitely offer, get your money, dog. Like, since they want to keep you out the pros, even though you're good enough to go straight from high school to the pros, they want to keep you out the pros. They created the G League, want to throw you in the G League and shit like that. All right, bro, get your money, bro. Like,
please get your money and get some
Zion
fun.
would have made so much money during his
Oh,
college,
listen,
bro.
man,
Like,
what?
Yeah,
Zion.
they owe that boy a bag, bro. Like right now.
And with your money, go hire you a financial literacy advisor, so that way you don't go broke.
Make sure he don't rob you.
Yeah,
For real.
Yeah, that's all for the news. Good drugs.